Shifting gears a little bit, we want to talk with you about a film that is opening Thanksgiving Day. The film is called Capital Punishment. Nick Searcy is a well-known Hollywood star. He's been in films with Tom Hanks. He's been around since the 90s, maybe before, but I know his name was showing up significantly in the 90s. Nick is a very well-known, outspoken conservative in Hollywood. He's one of the Hollywood conservatives who just doesn't give a darn anymore. He says what is on his mind. He was at the Capitol on January 6th. He saw what really happened, and he decided he wanted to put a film together, setting the narrative straight, setting the story straight. Now, they screened that film recently in L.A. Grant was fortunate enough to be there for it. And so, Grant, I'd like you just to visit with the audience a couple minutes about your take on the film. But then we have got a number of clips. This is never before seen footage from January 6th. Again, never before seen footage. We're going to show you here. And these are just little tidbits of what you're going to get in the film. So, Grant, quickly just kind of tell us about the experience, what you came away with from them. We're going to run some clips.
Yeah, I think the main thing that I came away with, and I think this is what, in talking to Nick Searcy, which I got the chance to do, which was really great, it's what they kind of began to make the film around, and that is just the mistreatment that these people are facing, the people that were there. There are various people in the documentary, none of whom participated in violent acts. Some of them were there. Some of them entered the Capitol. Some of them didn't enter the Capitol. And most of them have now been visited by the FBI. They've come to their homes. One man had his daughter handcuffed inside his home. The FBI broke in the back door because he didn't open the front door fast enough. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, one man was imprisoned without a clock for 9 days.
And he had no idea how much time had gone by.
Yeah, solitary for 9 days.
For just being at the Capitol, and none of them are facing charges for violent crimes. Some of them have various charges, having to do with illegal entry or whatever it may be. None of them are facing violent charges. But they're being treated as if they're some sort of domestic terrorists, and that's what they're being made to believe, is that they are domestic terrorists. The film talks about that a lot, too, about how this is a coordinated sort of effort to tell people, if you question the government, you're going to feel the wrath of that government. And that's something, to me, that's super scary. Just for our future in this country. So
we've got some little micro trailers for this we want to show you. And Grant and I have watched the film a number of times. We want to share with you about these. So Russ, take it away. Let's roll the first one. Show the folks watching what they're going to be seeing when they check out Capitol.
We saw a set of open doors. My partner Tony, he looked at me. I looked at him. He said, "What do you think about that?" And I said, "I don't like it." He said, "No, that's like a spider web. It feels like a trap."
It's a spider web. It feels like a trap. What they were talking about there was an open door at the Capitol building on the day. Now, remember, the footage you see, the footage that the media runs, shows a barricade set up and security people keeping out alleged violent Trump supporters. These are guys who are on the ground who said, look, this actually felt like a trap. They've got all of this stuff going on over here, all of this chaos, and then we see an open door that's just waiting like a spider web, like a trap. And Grant, as I was watching it, I got the sense that essentially both things were going on. There was some violence over here. As you go on and watch the movie, you begin to question whether the violence was from Trump supporters or whether it was from Antifa embedded in the crowd. And we've got some good stuff on that too. But it struck me as very odd that there was all of this police presence in one area, and then this other area was completely unguarded with an actual open door. I mean, did that strike you as strange?
Yeah, actually, I wrote a movie review for the movie, and I talked about that in the review of this. It feels like it's a purposeful sort of setting up of, over here you have all this violence, you have all these police presence, you have people trying to break in, which did happen in the film. I don't think it shies away from that. It admits, yes, there were people who were violent that day, who broke in, who did things they shouldn't have done. But there were other people, and arguably the vast majority of people, who didn't do anything violent, who saw an open door. Maybe they walked through it, maybe they didn't. and who some people even talked to the Capitol police officers and said, you know, are we going to get in trouble for doing this?
Yeah.
And they said the Capitol police officers didn't say anything.
No, they
about
welcomed
them
them
getting in.
in.
They said it was okay.
High-fived them, fist bumped them.
I think that's a purposeful sort of contradiction that it sets up in the film is there is violence in this area, then in the same other area there's not violence, and yet all these people are being treated the same as domestic terrorists.